All right. We're live.
And once you said it was about to talk that we are live, which I'm assuming also is like when the music stopped too, then your body, and I get this too, all of a sudden, when I'm about to say
Well, it's
the
because I
talk
took a
is,
deeper breath, and that's when, it triggered everything.
yeah, exactly. It's like always when I'm about to talk to someone or say something, then my body has or what's worse, when I'm about to like drink something, my body has an urge to cough right then and there, and I don't know why.
Again, you take a deep breath before drinking.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hello, Joe McClory.
Oh. But because my
So
cold is still fucking with me, my sleep schedule has actually reverted to that thing where you go to bed at night and wake up in the morning.
like a normal sleep schedule, or at least normal for everyone else.
Yeah. Of
It's now
course, I
I
then
see.
also slept an additional 3 hours before this show, despite sleeping
Yeah.
from like 10 to 7.
Okay, so like last week, like Thursday, I had like a 9 a.m. meeting as it were too to like discuss labels. And as always, whenever I have like a 9 a.m. meeting at work or something like that, I don't trust my body to wake myself up at like 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. in order to like get out of bed soon enough to like get to work. So it's like Wednesday night, and I learned about the meeting on Wednesday too. So I can't like it didn't have many days to adjust my sleep schedule. I decided I'm not gonna trust my body. I'm just going to like stay up all Wednesday night in order to make it to like 9 a.m. meeting, which I did. And I was still functional. After like sleep depriving myself as well too, and still at 40 years old, I can still like stay up all night in order to like and still operate functionally at least for work and doing that sort of thing. Not that I want to like do that regularly, but like still. But then it's just like Friday, I kind of they determined it's like, oh wait, no, I'm not gonna get my work that like they need me to do by Monday done on Friday. But I can come in to work on Saturday. I can't come in to work on Sunday. They determined that like it has if I do come in to work on the weekend, and hello, Joe McCory. I think I already said hello to you. It has to be like on Saturday because I get the proof to come in on Saturday, but not on Sunday because no one's coming in on Sunday. So it's just like, but I was going to see Deadpool Wolverine with my brothers on Saturday at like 3:50. That's so at 4 p.m. So it's kind of like, okay, if I do want to work and work as many as hours as I can, I'm gonna have to like get to work as early as possible. So I did decide to like leave work at like 7 p.m. and get home about 9:30 and just immediately take one melatonin and like a one daily antihistamine, like a Claritin type of like a medication as well too. And then just like go immediately to bed. And I did manage to like wake up and like get out of bed at like 4:30 a.m. to order to get to work at like 6:30 a.m. on Saturday yesterday, and did like work a 7 hour shift this well too. Then went to like see Deadpool and Wolverine as well too. So, but despite like yesterday waking up at like 9 a.m. No, at 4:30 a.m. and like actually getting to work and doing all that, I stayed in bed today this morning until 10 a.m. I was it's the kind of thing where it's like, am I sleepy? Maybe I fall back to sleep or something like that. But it's just like more like, do I want to get out of bed? Honestly, most of the time, most mornings, no, I just don't want to. And then like lazily stay in bed, and despite like I probably should like get up as like 10 a.m. something like that. But if I have nothing to do, then like I just like stay in a lot. So yeah. Uh but yeah, I did see. So yeah, sometimes like my sleep schedule. In fact, I went to bed at 11 p.m. like last night and stayed in bed until 10 a.m. this morning. So almost like 11 hours. I remain in bed. That's just how I roll, I guess as well too. I just like hate getting out of bed, which is honestly the truth. Which is why I sleep in most mornings. So like most weekday mornings. But yeah, so yes, I did see Wolverine and Deadpool yesterday, and like yeah, so no spoilers.
You didn't
I
get
thought it
up
was
and
good.
walk out halfway through because of all the blasphemy?
What blasphemy is like, and I will go into details of like what I've heard of like cameos or what I've seen of cameos, something like that. I'll leave like that to be like the spoiler three for those who want to see it and something like that. Because I like with comedies as well too, and thinking for that kind of thing too. It's just like if you know what's going happening going in, it'll probably like ruin the surprise. But if people don't care about spoilers, I can like DM them properly of like who I saw, like who showed up, and that sort of thing too. But no, I really enjoyed it. Honestly, it just like it's pretty good. Pretty much as enjoyable as like Deadpool 2 as well, I would say. I really enjoyed it. And like no, yeah, if you enjoy the other two Deadpool movies, you will enjoy this one as well too. And yes, they do touch on like what happened in Logan as well and everything else and like make reference to that sort of thing too. So like it's actually part of the plot too. So I'll just leave it at that. Me too, it
But
was a
he
fun
died
movie.
in Logan.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the opening credit sequence. All I'll say is that, like, yes, Deadpool is like murdering people and dancing to "Bye Bye Bye" by NSYNC. Me too. It's a fun movie. The kind of like a frontier loads the disrespect to Fox movies. Yes, yeah. Oh no, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. X and X2 were good movies.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there were
they're
another 8 movies, but
Oh, I think X-Men First Class is honestly the best of the X-Men movie, not including the Deadpool movies. If we include Deadpool movies as like part of the X-Men franchise, which yeah, it is because like Deadpool's a mutant and like it was Fox and like that's why they were able to do it. Then like yes, honestly, it was the Deadpool movies and the X-Men's First Class that are the best like of the X-Men movies of Fox Studios X-Men movies, I should say. Um. I mean, yeah, X-Men 1 was like decent, and like X-Men 2 was like pretty good for the time. I don't know if I
X3
can
was
like
disappointing.
yeah, that's what I heard. I still have not seen X3, and it's just like I will say also that like it does this movie does want me to go back and rewatch some of a lot of the movies, including the other movies that they reference as well too. Again, not going to spoil what they reference as well too, like or the cameos that show up because again, that's part of the surprise. So what have you been up to this week other than still recovering from a cold?
Just sleeping. I tried
Yeah.
driving on Friday afternoon, try to get that rush hour. Only made
Hmm.
it an hour before I absolutely had to have a nasty cough.
Hmm.
So I decided to give that another couple of days.
Yeah. Me. Oh wait, this also just happened. Is that like no, did not get a promotion, but no, did get like a pay increase. Finally got
That's
a
good.
pay increase. Yes. So as always, especially since like now my company it was a family owned company, but it's a worldwide corporation. It had like places in like China and other places like that. No, Singapore. We had a place, a plant in Singapore. But like, but it's just like another corporation. It's just that now we're part of a bigger corporation that's owned by Goldman Sachs, a financial institution, as like my manager reminds me. And yes, our financial institution wants like our big worldwide corporation to make profits each quarter, but also increasing profits each quarter and the demands for production as it is. But I did get so also like I kind of noticed at the beginning of the year that oh wait, I was paid $19.27 an hour, but now being paid $20 an hour. Oh, okay, only got a raise, I guess, as well too. Oh no, that's because Seattle raised its minimum wage to like $19.97 an hour. Which has honestly been like the standard status quo at that company. That like most people, the only time they get raises is if the minimum wage raises as well too.
Hmm.
And I think it's like also it's like if I don't mind that because like I don't see myself as like above a burger flipper, of course. No, that as well. My job title, I think, is just like warehouse clerk or like stockroom clerk. So like it is essentially still entry level and that sort of thing too. And I also got like a new lead, so it's like, okay, I guess I'm not lead material. But then again, it's just like, oh yeah, I have been like lazy and playing Fortnite at the work, so I guess I kind of make sense as well too. Um, But like no, also so it's like my first raise was just because of the increase in minimum wage, but like I just hope that increase to be $25 an hour as well too. But also, but then I did get like another raise on top of that, and it's going to be retroactively effective of like July 1st. So I think my paycheck is reflect my new rate as well too. So instead of it's a annual raise of like 3.8%, I think. The biggest share that my manager could like give me, according to like him. Because I exceeded expectations in my employee review. So I think that's like 86 cents. So now I'm paid $20.86 an hour or something like that. But yeah. That's something as well too. Oh no, yeah, the first two Blade movies were really good. The third, and then they were ice skating uphill. Yes, the third one was something. And yeah, but the third one, Wesley Snipes also like sued the production company for like the third one because like he felt that like David S. Goyer, who was the writer for those like movies, was like inexperienced director, and that was his first time like directing in a movie as well too. Oh, and Blade 3 also has Ryan Reynolds. Like
Hmm.
that. Mhm.
And it had, I want to say
Triple H.
What's that?
It had Triple H. He's a wrestler.
Was he the one who played Dracula? Couldn't be.
No, I forgot who played Dracula in that one, but Triple H
It was
just
the
was the
guy
one.
from Legends of Tomorrow / The Flash.
Oh, I don't know that. I still have not seen the Arrowverse yet. I know I should like at least
I
catch up
enjoyed it.
on the good. Yeah. Um.
Dominic Purcell. I knew it was a Dominic.
Days of Future Past, I did enjoy it, but there was like a points
That was the one where
where
Wolverine goes back in time mentally.
yes,
We need to
it's
find
when
a way
he
to get Kitty Pryde in there. Let's give her powers she's never had before.
yeah exactly.
She can phase through
uh,
time as well as space, but only mentally.
it's it's yeah, and it's just like I don't know. So it's like I'm not now. I actually like Apocalypse as a character, at least from the '90s X-Men animated series as well too, which I should rewatch. And then like after finishing the '90s X-Men animated series, watch X-Men '97 because I heard great things about X-Men '97 as well too. Oh, so I'm kind of curious. I've been watching the third X-Men First Class movies with like Apocalypse, the last one as well. But yeah, Wolverine does a quantum leap. John McClory, I agree. Yes, I remember like a few of the old episodes of like Quantum Leap. I'd never seen a full episode of Quantum Leap as well too. I'm sure they're good. So it's
It's really, really religious. It's really Christian.
okay. I mean, a
It's like
girl
the whole thing
Catholic.
is him crying about the fact that his dad died, and he was an older man. I mean, it's.
Yeah. So, what has happened in the past week, Swear? Oh, that's
Oh, a
right.
cop got punched in the face and started crying.
Oh, I, I,
This
I
was
did
the
not.
boxer, the Italian
Oh
boxer
yeah,
at the Olympics.
I see. So
Hence,
yeah,
if you look at the stream, you'll see
yes.
the meme. This is
Hmm.
what a cop looks like when they're not allowed to shoot you, and you're allowed to fight back. And when black people are
Yeah.
allowed to fight back.
Hmm. Evening Mithril from the land of actual race riots. It's funny how the fascists come out to play when a left government is voted in. Yeah, left government as well too. I
Well, we'll
agree.
see that again in November.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I agree because like yeah, and like that's actually looks like I asked of C Shies on like his Ask Away on Friday, ooh, which like you know what I have like the stream open because of like a interesting like a question that like Dana Cole like asked on the Ask Away, but like I agree with like what C Shive said is that like there's not going to be I can he did definitely see some violence from the low right on like election day if like it doesn't go their way and stuff like that, but small pockets of it as well too.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't think there's going to be like the widespread like a civil war, and I don't think there's ever going to be like widespread civil war like that again. Pockets of like troubles I can definitely
Yeah,
see it happening as well too.
we're going to see small race riots,
Yeah, I agree.
like
Unfortunately.
January 6th.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but no, it's like so. Dana Cole did ask a couple of questions to like Steve Shy. So like one like how where there's some tiny things that like make you happy because she got a phone for the start of the school year or something like that. It's not working. I was like, had the neo-Nazi marching through the city today. It was a little concerning. I imagine so. It was one thing when you see like a large congregation, the a large collection of like neo Nazis in like
I
one
think
place.
congregation is the right word.
Yeah, congregation. That's what I was trying to say. Yes. That's always concerning because seeing that many people with such like bigoted views and like fascist views is just like hopefully they came from all around the places as well too. Hopefully they're not
Manchester Nazis. I hate Manchester Nazis.
because
To
it's
quote,
like,
semi-quote, the Blues Brothers.
oh yeah, okay.
I
Oh,
hate
that's a
Illinois
good.
Nazis.
I should rewatch that movie. I mean, the first one is classic as well too. That's one of the films that's on the actual film registry. It's like, no, that deserves to be on there. Um, but like, hopefully, anytime then you see like a large congregation of like Nazis, you just hope that like that's not just from my hometown. I hope as well too, unless it's a huge major city. Honestly, I could see Seattle being full of Nazis. Honestly, um,
Oh
the
yeah,
violence
I
from
mean, I can see Washington and Oregon being full of Nazis because they were founded by
it's.
white supremacists.
Oh yes, exactly.
You have to remember when the Blues Brothers came out, they were 3 years away from the Skokie trial.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Nationalist Socialist Party of America versus the village of Skokie, which is part of the greater Chicago area.
Yeah.
Skokie tried to stop them marching through the largely Jewish community of Skokie, Illinois, and the Nazis
Oh.
sued, and the Supreme Court said, "Yeah, you can't stop them marching."
Oh yeah. Because yeah, so basically Skokie was doing they're trying to do their own version of like Cable Street as
Yep,
well. Mm-hmm.
an excrement
About
of Nazis.
well done, Mithril. The violence from the riot will be like less if he like loses as than he is
hmm
the wins. Most of them are cowards and will act worse if they
Well,
like
the
think
thing
that they
is, the
are violent.
violence will be state sanctioned if he wins,
True.
and
Oh
it will
yeah, yeah, that's
be
true.
for years and for decades, really. We'll feel it
True.
if he wins.
Yeah, yeah, Will Phillips wins. Yeah. Uh, which does lead into the other topics that like kind of like I tease at in like my promos, but like now that I have like the S way up, Dana Cole kind of like ask what exactly as Steve on his like ask away last Friday, what exactly do leftists want Biden to do? I hear stop supporting genocide a lot, but like sending military to aid to Israel is already law. So do they want him to like take that out of the budget he sends to Congress? At this point, I don't disagree because I don't really know what the asks are. And I realize I know groups in monolith. I couldn't really say some leftists want X and others want Y when with any idea of what X or Y might be. Do you have any ideas? And not only me, but also another. I think she's actually anarchist. She's very radical. Azalea Jane, another patron of like she's cool. She's a trans woman, and it's like, but like they definitely left this because like very anti-capitalist. And
Anarcho-transbian. It's a thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I I push back against that as well too, because like Dana Cole is like basically what's going on and saying like what is it that like we want Biden to do that he could actually do, like he could veto said bill. That would be a
Hmm.
concrete action. So
He
like,
might be able to play with international law about sending aid to Israel. He
mhm.
might say that at this point, our sending aid to Israel would violate our treaty commitments. Therefore, I can't do it.
Mhm.
Because, Geneva Conventions and United Nations and things like that. He could say they're committing genocide. Our doing that would be complicit, make us complicit, or something like that. He might be able to do something like that. And since he's on his way out and doesn't have to worry about re-election, he could, but it would totally scotch Harris's re-election chances.
So yeah, my first response was like, if that means okay, if the laws forces like a Biden to like support Israel, then we should change the law. Now, granted, I do know that a president of the United States cannot change laws. That's Congress. That's like the purpose of like Congress. That he did that. Well, too. All that Biden can do is either sign things into law or veto it. Biden can still encourage the Democrats to like make laws and something like that. Granted that they don't have the House, the Republicans have a slim majority right now, and like they have a slim majority over in the Senate. But it's just like I don't know. It's just like honestly, it sounds like I kind of like interpret that one as like Nicole complaining and whining about like leftist being complaining and whining as well too. Um, no, but it's like I would wish that like, granted, yeah, Biden won't change his rapid like pro-Israel support because as Jane said in the live chat after the question was asked, that like he's been like rapid and pro-Israel freak for like decades. Trying to see, and to which I like also I kind of like made up the point of like or brought up the point. Well, since like SCOTUS like referrals to Biden is partially king, so like he can like
Well,
do
no,
as
no,
he
no, no,
please.
no, no, no. That only applies to Trump. Let's be perfectly clear. This court crafted that decision to make it apply as narrowly as possible to Trump.
Mm-hmm. It's only for being prosecuted for during his presidential actions.
Mm-hmm. They're basically the anything that's part of what might be construed as a normal action for a president during his actions as president can no longer be admitted as evidence of the criminal conspiracy. So they can't bring in his communications with the members of his administration that were
Mm-hmm.
part of the criminal conspiracy because those are routine actions committed by a president. Only things committed by candidate Trump can be brought in, not by President Trump.
Yeah. To which I'm like again, I kind of like this is it kind of bit a broader point that I mentioned. Like, doesn't that mean that we're all complicit in the genocide of Palestine, being Americans, especially for our taxpayers as well too,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I heard saw on
Well,
like
I would say yes if this were a democracy, but it's not.
oh yeah, that's true.
It's an
As
oligarchy, and our votes don't matter.
True, actually, yeah, I agree. Seems like we do pay our taxes, but we have no control over what our taxes are spent on, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that when we vote in the representatives that like we're supposed to represent us, that they will actually will allocate the taxes how we would like them to, but like our representative cannot represent like 30,000 people, honestly, or however much people votes a certain congressperson or not as well too. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. That's
Let's
just to
see.
say that I just said to Nicole, I want him not to be a Zionist, which I know is not going to like it happen. David Kobe kind of responded, "It isn't his job to figure out how to do it, and not our job either." To which also Jane said, brought up example, executive orders, calling in favors, the diplomatic pressure. He's not
And
helpful to
maybe he
them.
could just send a whole lot of food to Israel. Except that
Yeah,
probably the appropriations for Israel probably specify what kinds of things get sent over there.
true. Yeah. Uh,
Real quick,
sure.
Mithril, because I know there were race riots over there.
Hmm.
Here is oop, far right wing piece of shit gets clocked in the head. And then in the balls.
Fucking hell, bro!
That's what you get
Oh,
for being a racist piece of shit.
that was fun. Yes. Look at the tall right left just laughing at someone being like kicking the ball, being have a rock thrown into the balls. Okay, well, first of all, it's classic comedy, honestly. Like old man get hit by a football from The Simpsons, but also it's just like a I don't want people to be punched, but if I heard Nazi got punched, it's like I'm going to be happy about
If
Nazi
you're
getting
out there being a racist piece of shit, then I'm not going to be sorry if you get clanged in the nuts with a half brick.
yes.
But
See, and like the biggest need is like he needs to be a leader
yeah,
of
yeah,
people.
and we could have gotten no genocidal Benjamin Netanyahu speaking in front of Congress. Yeah, could have disinvited him
Yeah.
or arrested him and sent him to the Hague.
Yes, exactly. But that's one of the things that like Steve did brought up as well too. That like a Benjamin Netanyahu, like coming to defense of his buddy Benjamin Netanyahu, like when they ICC put out arrest warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu. It's like Biden said that like that was terrible, and you're just like, come on, Biden, we just like that's definitely one of those things that we wish that like Biden didn't do as well too. Um, let's see, I, but no, honestly, it's just like I I guess like yeah, Dana Cole. I guess what Dana Cole is that like she wishes that we are I guess more well informed about how the system works, so that we have like more concrete like demands for what we want Biden to do, and I still took it as if like I should not be complaining that we're supporting genocide then. Because I need to know how like the executive branch works or how our government works a lot more in order to be able to complain that we're supporting genocide. So it's just like, uh, I don't know. It's just like Nicole's a interesting person as well too, and sometimes we have it back and forth in like the live chat as well too. I'm just glad I'm not the only one having back and forth with like her about that because like Isaiah Jane kind of like it says it sounds like Zionist apologetics in that way because like even though like she's not necessarily defending Biden's inactions, but saying that we shouldn't complain about Biden's inactions or know how the system works in order to be able to complain about like Biden's inactions. I don't know. Uh, I mean, I don't know, isn't it enough to say like stop supporting genocide? But apparently that's lazy of me to like say that, according to like Dana. Yeah, the Biden should definitely abolish like a Citizens United. The worst supportable team ever. Yeah. Fortunately, that's a Supreme Court decision. I don't know how to reverse Supreme Court decisions other than bring
Just appoint
defeat.
another Supreme Court, wait for the case to make its way up the courts, and boom.
Yeah, sadly, that's how to do it. Um, And I seen Biden like propose like a 18-year term limit on like the Supreme Court justices. I wonder if that will be retroactive or that be from now on or something like that. Which it means that like I don't know, there's like I need further details about that. I would love for there to be term limits, but also would love for there not be Supreme Court either, but I know that's not likely gonna happen anytime soon. Um let's see. But I don't know. Well, what can be done about like Israel now? I just want it to stop. I just want the genocide to stop. Oh, but that also did happen, and as well too. I've got to mention this in the blurb as well too. But like, yeah, the leader of Hamas is dead. Got assassinated while he was in Tehran because like he
Uh-oh.
was there. Yeah, he did. No, he was like there in support of the election of the new leader of Iran because Iran's prime minister died in a plane crash or something like that, and Iran had to like snap. I think either they appointed the next guy in succession. I have to refresh myself on this as well too, or they had an election for like a snap election for the next prime minister as well too. But no, like yep, the leader of Hamas was like there in support of like
Now, the
the next
question
prime minister.
is, was he assassinated by Israel or the U.S.?
I think Israel is no, yeah, that would have been an important question as to because like and now remember the SC also sent out like
Hamas
arrest warrants.
commander, 8 other gunmen killed in IDF drone strike near Tulkarem, says
Hmm.
Times of Israel.
Yep. As so it's like and that's where it's just like yes, we
Okay,
do
so it was definitely Israel. Okay, they're just being open and honest about it. Awesome.
yeah. This which also shows that like they're not interested in a ceasefire at all
Nope. Oh,
because
they never
like
were. I mean, it's a
they
genocidal
never were.
project.
Yeah, it is. It's like this like war against Hamas is a genocide project. And also it's like I wish like liberals would like remember this, but they're liberals is like, hello,
Hello, Kino.
that like the you cannot fully get rid of like Hamas because the reason Hamas exists is because of the occupation of Palestine by Israel. So is you can like definitely get rid of the current leaders of Hamas as Israel just did, but like there's always going to be someone that's willing to join Hamas so long as like the Palestinian people are like living in an apartheid state and have no rights or not the same in rights as like Israel people as well too. Um it's kind of why it might be wise for like leftists to speak out about the authoritarianism instead of fascism, not to say you can't make fascism any claims on like Israel. I agree, Joe McClory. Yeah, we can like be like more targeted or like be more broad or like more specific in like targeting authoritarianism, and we're not gonna like get any disagreements from people in saying that like fascism is not authoritarianism and being against authoritarianism we can't be against fascism as well. Biden should have like had packed the Supreme Courts. It was like such a missed opportunity since like the reps had like proved willingly to use any like political manipulation to get what they wanted. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's like maybe it's not that the video playback
Hey,
on
Kirok.
my end. Hey, Kira, the video playback on my end is like fine. It's like I did see no like buffering issue my end as well too. So it's not John Brockman's internet this time.
Yeah, and it looks like everything's going fine according to OBS.
Hey, John Trumpy. So try refreshing Kano and like check and see your connection as well too. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. No, no, it's no problem. It's no problem. Don't worry. You're not missing intense action either way. It's just like two people sitting down, just like chatting as well too.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah.
This has
And
been
what
an
can you?
excuse for me to hang out with Geek for the last 2 years.
Pretty much. Yeah. No. 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 Exactly. You create this project so it's just out for you, just like yelling into the void, and then you just want to like hang up me because like years ago
You're the
you saw
Scarlet
me.
Pimpernel. You're everywhere.
Yes. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's right. It is mentioned earlier with that meme of like the one time the cop is crying because they got punched and they can't shoot back as well too. Yeah, the Olympics has happened, and
Simone Biles has confirmed that she can jump as high as 5 Ben Shapiro's.
I don't know about that.
That's 12 feet, by the way.
No, jumping 12 feet is a kind of impressive like a feat as well too in that regard. But like uh the whole topic about women in sports again is just like and again the transphobia or trans misogyny that have been attacking like trans women for like time and in memoriam and as well too also affects cis women because of a cis woman happen to have XY chromosomes. And he's just like,
Did she even have XY chromosomes?
I don't know about that. That's what just
They
I've
looked at a brown
heard.
woman and said, she looks mannish, therefore she's a man. It's racism and transphobia all the way down.
I
Who
agree.
gives a shit?
Exactly. This happened like 4 years ago or several years ago, where it's like a like Olympic like runner or sprinter was like tested to having too much testosterone and disqualified. And it's
Hmm.
always women. I don't know of like any man that like's been disqualified for having too much testosterone or has to go such rigorous testing and or rigorous like bureaucracy in order to prove that he is a man as well too. And like now I don't know if there's any trans masculine or trans men like athletes. There's no proof she has XY chromosomes. So it's just the trans misogynist pricks that are just being trans misogynist pricks then.
Hmm.
Uh because that's what here's the thing is just like do you any one of us actually know what our chromosomes are? The transphobes, the trans misogynists just assume that like if you're a woman, you have XX chromosomes. If you're a man, you have XY chromosomes. But yet there's XXX chromosomes. There's just X chromosomes. There's XXYY chromosomes. XXXXY chromosomes. There's so many different.
XO, there's a whole lot.
Yes, and the only way you can actually know what your chromosomes are if you're actually tested by an endocrinologist. Our friend Latrano, I think, has like an extra X chromosome as well too. So she jokes that she's a god as well too. But again, but again, it's just like what determines if you are cis is that like at birth, the doctor looks at your genitals. Sometimes can take on the measuring stick and like determining what if you're male or female just based on that. It's like sometimes it's the a lot of times it's easy to okay that will be will eventually become a penis or that is a vulva as well too. So they will assign accordingly, and then later on when you like discover more of yourself and determine what your gender is as well too. Oh, that like you are a man and you were assigned male at birth and you're cisgender. That's it, people. It's easy as that. And if you're not a man. I'm sometimes not a man. When I'm not a man, I don't know what I am. Is I'm thus am trans because I have a trans identity because genderqueer dim and non-binary does not show up on like birth certificates. I don't know if I can change it to include that as well too, but like yeah. No, some people can get their birth certificate changed, which has allowed trans people to be able to be recognized and affirmed as like the gender that they actually are. Places like New York, you can change your birth certificate. I think Washington State can change the birth certificate. It's a process, I'm sure, but like look it up. My friend Terry Wolfus was born in Texas, so no way she can get her birth certificate changed with like the laws in Texas as well too. The only way to know is over lab work. Blood doesn't lie. Yeah, but the Dutch do have a man who molested a 12-year-old girl on the beach in their beach volleyball team. Not heard the right winger about that. Yep, Mithril. They
Because it's
complained
only
about.
grooming when we do it, and it's actually good for them, and rather than not rape.
Yeah, remember the right also are in favor of this. Like, I'm assuming it's like the light, unless there's some libertarians who are also in favor of this. Well, libertarians in this country are generally are right wing too. So like they're the ones who are okay with child brides in this country.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
only a
legal
few
in like
states that
12 states.
yeah, it's not all the states in the United States of America, but there are states that like you can legally marry a child if you get parents' permission.
Hey, if you look at the feeds, you'll see that Trump has a lot of support from black women.
That's the one the BG pageants he hosted.
No.
I don't know what that is.
Take a look right here. I don't know if you can see it. And also take a look here, 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 and here, and here. They all have the same face.
It's Photoshop.
It's AI.
Only AI black women support Trump. That makes sense in my mind. And by the way, Isaiah Taylor might be joining us. He's if like he can like catch like a little bit between his like work day on his break something like that. Hey Phoenix, how you doing?
Hey,
So Isaiah Taylor,
Phoenix.
so Isaiah Taylor is currently at work, which is why he's not here as well too.
He might be
So
able to pop in later.
yeah. Some animals have chromosomes as well too. Yeah, and fingerprints don't lie. Well, I don't know what a fingerprint proves, other than like if that matches like who that person is as well too. There's a trans masculine boxer, and because like
Hmm.
there's continued between like how steroids works for all athletes and needs selective for those tests. Yeah. I only mention that because like it refers to your conversation about fingerprints proved if you were actually touched something. There's no mention of it.
Um,
Okay.
Fingerprints are kind of pseudoscience.
Yeah. To the right, grooming is letting children know that they cannot be like a cishet and not actually abusing them. Yeah, I agree. And
Hmm.
yeah, AI sucks. I'm open to like useful cases for like AI art, but how the AI art is applied now is just like no. It's getting automation under capitalism is terrible because it just like removes the workers something like that. That's what the Luddite movement was. We've now
They weren't
Luddites
against technology or progress. They were against not being able to eat or pay rent.
exactly. They were radical labor activists as well too. My sort of I would say if Maru that was mentioned to wanting to build a black woman AI. Good on Maru for that. Yes. uh I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but like I know who you're referring to. Like, yeah, she's the daughter of both Demetrius and like Robin. Robin be the carpenter that you go to like get upgrades on your farm, and then Demetrius being like the botanist. Um, and Mario is their kid together, while Sebastian is like the kid from Robin as well too. Yeah, but anyway, it's Stardew Valley, great game. Uh, and hello Archie. Archie says hi. Archie, behave.
Ooh.
Yeah, Archie's the cat. Doesn't
Oh,
ow.
but she has a dog. Or,
No, Phoenix like did have like a did hang out with the dog back at like their parents' place, and that was like Loki, one of like
okay.
their parents' dogs. Yeah. Um. Okay, yeah, that's fine, Kira. Yeah, no, you're good, Kira. Well, at least she says she wants to build a robotic wife before. That's very
So
I
Maru's an
mean,
incel?
no, she's just a scientist that enjoys doing scientific things, like look at the stars, and like works as a nurse for like Dr. Harvey. So yeah, like I'm glad I kind of sort of avoid social media in some regards as well too. Um, Shut up, Archie. If video games rot my brains, then my brain is rotten because I've been playing video games ever since I had fingers.
That explains
Oh,
the hat.
let's see. What else had I said in like my blurb to like in on today? Because like, yeah, the women in sports and like that whole debate. Oh yeah. So this is kind of well, liberals kind of always like bring this up as well too. I guess like we can like discuss that and like think of like what would we like the left version of the Tea Party. What would that work out then? Like because it's liberals who kind of like say why is there a left version of the Tea Party? It's one simple reason: the left doesn't have money or doesn't have as much money. It's like the one like a vaguely progressive like billionaire George Soros, and like that's about it. And like there's been like memes about like him funding like anti super soldier training says as well too. We meme that as well as like the right meme as well too. But like to answer the question about like left version of the Tea Party, well, it's just like we don't have like the dark money to like fund something like the Tea Party or back something like the Tea Party in order to do that as well too. But also B, I kind of doubt the Republican Party was already more or less aligned with the Tea Party ideologically in like broad strokes from the beginning. They were always a white supremacist party since like 1968. They just became more openly so. Oh, is the soy latte party? That's a good one, Mithril. Oh, call that if that somehow happens, that will be it. Um, so it's like for the Thuckling party to like just be co-opted by the Tea Party, that was more in my mind, that was more or less easy for them. They just kind of like they weren't as like radically right wing as like the Tea Party wanted them to be, and so they got voted out. And like a primary out by Dark Money, by like the Koch brothers and other organizations like that. It's good to locate what's happening to you, Phoenix. But I don't see like there and be oat milk latte party. I don't see the oat milk latte party. One thing I don't see the Democrats at all. Just like they changing their party or just like being co-opted by like a more radical left wing version of themselves of like their constituencies or the base as well too. I see them just more resistant and to like the left in general as well too. Uh, it just like made I know that like some people will say that Bernie Sanders did not get like the majority of votes in the primaries either in 2020 or 2016. I still think there were some shenanigans involved in that way too.
Oh yeah, the Democratic Party was definitely working against him from the inside on that one.
Yeah. Even though it's like someone like even like C. Shives would say it doesn't see the proof of that as well too, but like whatever.
Except that's
Um,
exactly entirely everything and always what they do all the time. They
yeah.
want Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema and all the rest, Joe Lieberman. They always have
Mhm.
to have that guy to give them plausible deniability so that they can pretend to be doing stuff and then never actually follow through.
Yeah. So that's why I'm sorry, Chief says I don't have faith in the Democratic Party like you do, as well. It's like yes, because like the Democratic Party, they'll say that they're aggressive and they'll say that they'll do these things as well too, but like they won't do it. Now, granted, like even if somehow Bernie Sanders would became the president, I doubt like even he would do the kind of things that he want to do because he would be fighting against his party anyway. There were already Joe Manchin suggested Christmas cinemas then as well too, and they would have fight against him in as well. He will have to use his bully pulpit if he can, to get something, get any kind of like aggressive things done if he could. But again, the bully pulpit kind of like only works if like the party is kind of like more aligned with it or like in or willing to go along with it. But like if I'm sure the Congress Democrats and Senate Democrats going to easily use the bully pulpit against like Bernie and that regard. It's all I would see. Even if Bernie somehow became the president, it would just be like as it is the past 4 years, and 4 years of nothing substantial getting done.
Hmm.
That's which which is why I don't have like much faith in electoralism as well too. That's not to say I think electoralism is like pointless entirely because like if there are ballot initiatives, you can get stuff done with ballot initiatives. And something that Ryan just brought up and like it can happen here. One thing that like it should be like helpful to do is that like you in many jurisdictions you vote for your judges. Like in counties and like in statewide, you vote for judges. Federally, is done unfortunately by the Senate
Yeah.
for the federal courts. But in the local jurisdictions, you can vote for judges. if you were at a protest or someone you know was at a protest and was arrested at a protest on trumped up charges, they would have an easier time if the judge they happened to be in front of for those charges is not a complete jerk.
Hmm.
So that's one place where it's like voting does have impact. But I'm not gonna waste my time trying to like pressure people into like voting because pressuring people don't really work that well. Um, and I think in honest, and I agree with like Anarch says about like voting in his video that he posted during the summer that voting largely is a distraction as well too. I said it's like bread and circus on like a coast, to which a comrade kind of corrected me. It's more just circus now because like we don't get the bread. Because if we do give free bread to everyone, that would be communism. Uh, don't worry, Kirok. You don't know who Loki is, too. Loki's just the name of like
Phoenix's
Phoenix's
mom's
dog.
dog.
Yes, exactly. That's okay that you weren't in the know. Oh, but also Loki is also the name of the Norse god of the mischief as well too, and as well as a Marvel character.
No, I'm pretty sure the
Um,
Marvel character came first.
now, if the Marvel character can also turn into a horse and give birth to like a steed, which ends up being like one of Thor's steeds, then that is still something. Bernie would have like experienced the same crap that Jeremy Corbyn did. Oh yes, for sure. Like Bearfield, I agree with you there. Jeremy Corbyn actually became the leader of the party, and then just got like thoroughly like just
He even would have
forced
gotten
out.
the same accusations of anti-Semitism.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
And
it's
yes,
there.
I say that knowing that he's Jewish.
Oh yeah, Bernie Sanders is Jewish, but like Bernie Sanders does not support Israel, at least from as far as I know. Granted, there were times that like he was like said it better or could like show more affirmative support for like against the genocide of Palestine as well too. I know of those criticisms against like Bernie Sanders during this whole genocide as well too. But hey, I have less criticism about Bernie Sanders than I do about Biden as well too, because Biden was always rapidly like pro-Israel.
Hmm.
Uh,
If we didn't have Israel, we'd have to invent it,
yep, he said that when he was a 29-year-old senator.
or a 59-year-old senator.
Right. Yeah, he
It
said
was
that in the
30 years ago,
90s.
so it's
Yeah.
49.
Mhm. We're still talking and voting here is the thing with Biden running, it would deter many progressives from voting. And now that we have Harris, you see more progressives coming together. And again, so like also this is why I think that like Harris is a better bet because then for 2008, this was the factor. People did vote for Barack Obama to make history, vote in the first black
Hmm.
president. If we vote for Harris now, and which people seem to have like less like issues with Harris and like Hillary Clinton. That's not to say that we don't have issues with the Kamala Harris. No,
Yeah,
no,
the
it's
ACAB
like
people are being forced to vote for a cop,
yes, exactly.
just like the Law and Order people are gladly voting for a felon, because as we all know,
Yes.
law and order only means putting the boot to black people.
Yes, exactly. So there will be like a lot of support for like oh hey contact Rich, good to see you,
Hey.
but you're only half here. Yeah, I understand contact Rich.
Ugh.
Glad to see you do. What okay, so Kirak, our issues with Kamala Harris, one thing is just that she's a prosecutor, and like so we'll not go too much into the debate about
Former
like
prosecutor, and therefore a cop, and cops are bad. And
yes.
specifically, she was in favor of forcing trans women into men's prisons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is
No,
the big
no.
issue I know about her for that. But more generally,
Yes.
she's a Democrat and a liberal, uh, and therefore she's not going to make any actual changes.
Yeah, but no, that the Kirak, that's our big issue. That I'm definitely my big issue is that like she was a district attorney for California, she was district attorney for San Francisco before, but like people did try to petition her to try to allow for trans women to transition while in prison, but also to go to a women's prison instead of a men's prison as well too, and she denied those requests. So that's where we see that action as being transphobic as well too. And she also prosecuted like full service sex workers and sex workers as us that sort of thing too. So she was not pro sex work, and like we have our big issues with that as well too. Not that like there's any Democrat that's like really vehemently pro sex work and begin with, but like yeah. Hey, Isaiah
And
Taylor.
Isaiah is here.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, it's different. It's a different setup for John. He's in his His
I've been
room?
up since about 7 o'clock. So
Oh, so you actually were able to present yourself to be
yes,
presentable.
So no cat boy this time.
that's right.
Not this
Okay.
time.
You get to see my glorious beard. Well, the half of it that fits on screen.
So how are you doing, Isaiah? Is that a
I'm
Star
good.
Wars shirt you're wearing?
Yeah, it's a Rogue One. It's a Rogue One shirt that stylizes a Guy Harvey painting.
Nice. It actually looks good.
Yeah, so it's definitely very Guy Harvey. If you guys know who Guy Harvey is,
I do not.
I do not actually.
he's like a painter that paints like a lot of like fishing stuff. It's like stuff like outdoorsy white folks would be into.
Oh yeah, yes.
And I've googled it, and
What?
I've seen a lot of marlins here. Oh, that's a tuna.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a short fish. I do like his work though.
Yeah. So this is I guess this shirt is kind of stylized on that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Nerd.
things like yeah, it's like what like rich white folks do, like down in Florida. They'll
Mm.
take their
Hey,
like
hey, and Clarence Thomas. Although
yeah,
honestly, we should claim him.
they'll take their 20-foot, yacht out on the weekend and catch a marlin and drink a beer and
Yeah.
all the shit that rich white folks like to do.
Yep.
Meanwhile, this working class black job kid is, you know, I don't know. It's like sometimes like I find like even though I'm not really wealthy, I find like I find fun to do. Like right
Mhm.
now we have a hurricane coming this way, and I'm like so fucking excited because I've always loved hurricanes. I've always loved storms. I mean, you guys know I love Twister.
Yeah. And also, so if I think you mentioned Twister, yes, the sequel to Twisters, as like came out not too long ago. And I have a friend, Necronomicon. She's a streamer, but she also is a meteorologist. She's a graduate, graduated in meteorology, and Twister was one of the movies that she saw that got her interested in like meteorology. And
I wish,
she, in
we could-
fact,
I wish me and her could actually. It's a her who's it's a she he.
she's a trans femme gothic cat to
Okay,
gothic cat VTuber.
yeah, it'd be nice if me and her could like connect so we could like talk about meteorology. No, I'm
Honestly,
not. I'm not as.
honestly, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, John. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I want to like maybe I haven't set it up or like DM her at the time, but like no, I would love to have her on to like talk about meteorology because like I think like again our neurospicy like bunch here would love that kind of stuff too. I mean, I had like Nick Anderson on to talk about the Railroad series because I know this neurospicy bunch enjoys like trains and that sort of thing too.
Right. Now, I'm not really well versed in meteorology as she is, but it's like there's weather in space. The sun
Yes,
affects on weather.
there's a big
You know,
storm on Jupiter. It's been there for like thousands of years.
and
Hundreds
Neptune.
at the least, but it's going away.
Oh, damn. Oh, well.
Yeah, Neptune had one too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hmm.
Yeah. There's like uh dust storms on Mars that cover the whole planet.
Hmm.
Although in the Martian, in the Martian where like he was in the dust storm,
Hmm.
actually that's not that accurate because since there's not a lot of air pressure on Mars, the
Yeah,
dust wouldn't
yeah,
it wouldn't blow as hard as
yeah.
it
Eddie
does.
Weir admitted that he fudged the facts a couple of times in order to make the story work.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, like the duct tape that like he uses, or at least in the movie he uses to seal off that place, would not stand the kind of pressure as that sort of thing too. Duct tape and tarps as well too. So, yeah, Fudge is not the facts for like a dramatic effect as well too. It was still good. I judged by the movie.
He,
It's
he
still a
did
good
his
movie.
he did the best he could, but sometimes you got
yeah.
to do what the story demands.
But
Mhm.
that's what he did. But that's what gravity did. It fudged the science there too.
Mhm. You got like it's 100% scientific accuracies doesn't make for like a great story dramatically sometimes.
Well, think of Titanic. Titanic was not that well lit when it sank, but to make it stand out more, James Cameron lit the overlit the thing. And I got to
Mhm.
be honest, I love James Cameron's lighting style. It definitely
Mhm.
made Titanic come to life.
Yeah. Hmm. So what have you been up to other than working, Isaiah?
I'm working on my ocean, getting ready for my trip to Cape Canaveral in October. So getting my cosplays all ready for that.
Hmm.
Working on this fictional ocean liner that I made called the RMS Cappadocia, working on
Hmm.
that. And, writing, like to write. So I'm always keeping busy, I guess.
Nice. Nice. Oh, I
Busy,
mean,
busy doing stuff that I like.
yeah.
My other black jobs.
Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, Donald Trump on the debate, and like as well as when he talked to like black women
That's one
too.
black job there, and then when I get home, I do my other black jobs.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Uh,
what he meant though when he said black jobs. He meant custodial workers, and low wage people like that.
Yeah, no, I honestly do think that like racist white supremacist Donald Trump, it says like black jobs, he means low paying jobs as well too, and that like the immigrants coming in, they are taking black jobs. It's just like
This
oh
is, this is
god.
this is why, as a working class person, I could never be a capitalist because capitalists look down on people who have working class jobs because
Hmm.
to them, people who have working class jobs are stupid. Like people,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's a janitor, he must be a dumbass.
Mhm.
Next to the rich white kid who basically fucked his way into the system.
Or it was just like born and born rich as well too. So just like born with all the privileges in order to be able to be successful as well too. But it's like based on their own merit as well too. Yeah, it's like yeah,
Or
all this.
or or sometimes Republicans need working class people, white working class people for votes too. So
Yeah,
because remember, there's all kinds of working class people, but who do we focus on more? White working class. And what's the image of a white working class person? A white male in his 50s, gut, hard hat, truck, like it's all these images. And, as long as the white working class is represented by a white working class man, we're never going to get maternity leave. We're never going to get paid time off. We're never going to get any of that stuff because a lot of working class white men still thinks that's being a pussy. But, maternity leave, that's for women,
yeah.
ew, right?
Hmm.
So,
No,
anyway,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
everyone else been up to?
That just been
Sleeping.
working as well. Yeah. That's what I was doing this morning. I was kind of like
Huh.
sleeping and then just like not getting out of bed for like 4 hours. That's like I could have easily woke up at like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., but didn't get out of bed until like 10 a.m. And it's like some of those hours I wasn't even sleeping. I was just lying in bed.
Yeah,
I
eating
just don't want my
Oreos.
oh yeah, Oreos. Yeah, classic treat.
So apropos to eat Oreos as a black person.
As a
Hey,
nerdy
yeah,
black person.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, nerdy black
yeah,
person.
yeah.
Let's see. We were just like to talk about like several things. I think what we were in the middle of like was like mention Kirok mentioned about Kamala Harris and like yeah, she has a better chance of like winning the election than Joe Biden does for sure. But we also mentioned whatever our problems with like Kamala Harris is mostly and contract match also like I mentioned about like also ableist and pro force like a medication. Yeah, that is a lot of ableism in like many of the Democratic candidates as well too, including Democratic politicians like AOC, because like she thinks AOC thinks the ADA is defined as it is without enforcement, but that's the issue. But I can definitely, but Kamala has to be forced medication, pro forced medication. Oh, just yeah, that's not good.
What do you
Uh,
guys? Who do you want as her running mate, as her VP?
You know what? The other people that was also brought up in like Steve Shaw's Escalade, either a question to Steve or other people with that, or this brought up the conversation. And yeah, many people like said they think Pete Buttigieg would be like good. I just okay. So
They're going
just
to
as a
go for
policy,
a very, 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 very leave it to Beaver type white guy.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, John, that makes sense because I have one of my friends that I hang out with also like said that because I wanted her to pick Buttigieg, but she told me that America probably won't be okay with a gay vice president, so
A black woman and a gay man? No.
they may pick do you think they'll pick Shapiro or Pritzker?
I don't know about who Shapiro is. But Pritzker, I have to look him up as well too. I don't know. The only wrong choice is running in the running is Shapiro. So according to Joe McClory.
Was that
Yeah. Well,
Janine Shapiro? Oh, did my internet? It looks like my internet froze. Yep, my internet is fucking up. Is my internet back?
Okay.
Looks like my internet is
we can
back.
hear
Okay,
you.
good.
Okay,
Now I can
okay.
hear you
So
now.
it's just
Okay.
yeah, and the stream's okay. The people, yeah, there was some buffering because like John Brockman. This
No,
time it
that's
was John
Janine
Brockman.
Piro. So I
Let
don't
me
know who Shapiro is.
Josh Shapiro.
So it's a lineup between JD Pritzker, Josh Shapiro, Mark Kelly, Buttigieg, and I think it was someone else. I don't know. Gretchen Whitmer dropped out.
Okay.
She didn't want to be a part of it. I want it's a close race between Buttigieg and Kelly, but I'm hearing like Kelly isn't like the biggest labor fan.
Hmm.
Well, none of them
But
are. Some of them
None
just
of them are
pretend
the
to be.
Democrats. Yeah, exactly. They just pretend to be in pro labor in order to get votes as well too. That's what honestly what a lot of Democratic politicians do. I don't with Pete Buttigieg. Honestly, the only one I know of all the names you mentioned as well too. I just don't trust that guy. I don't trust Ratface. He's way too smarmy of a politician. Yes, he's a politician, and like I know that, but he's so smarmy that I just like don't trust him at all. And
I'm
just
not. Yeah, and I'm not too sold on Pritzker. Pritzker is way too wealthy to be the like. I don't like wealthy people like because most of the country is not wealthy. I don't. Why pick someone who's not? You know.
well, again, that's why like
Also, it would be a lot harder for us to make anti-fat jokes about Trump if she chose Pritzker.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because like that's something that some people want to do. They
The guy
just
looks
want
like
me.
melted ice cream.
He does. He looks like Anthony Hopkins if you have Anthony Hopkins in the oven too long or in the microwave, he just bags.
Yes, so I guess like
No, you know what he looks like? He looks like one of those deep sea fish that they find at the bottom of the ocean. Those
Blobfish.
like blob. Yeah, he looks like one of those.
no, he means service work. Oh, okay, okay, he's anti-service work. Okay, yeah.
JD
Okay,
Vance
weird
is
question.
just some fascist dipshit from Ohio.
Yeah, it's just like yeah. He was like Donald Trump in like 2016. He does have like some like we have him quoting saying that he thinks Donald Trump is terrible for the fucking party as well too. But like now he's probably pro Trump. He just what he was a converted Trumper as well too, and so is yeah, he's just like a very young and he would be the first millennial like VP too if Trump wins and hopefully he doesn't. And so he's just like JD Vance is a super young Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Except that like not as rich. Because like Trump well, not saying that Trump is as rich as he says he is either as well too, but
He's
like
definitely
JD
not.
Vance yeah.
He's got
Um
nothing at this point. Peter Welch is way
yeah,
too old. Having just gotten rid of Biden,
yeah.
there's no way they're going to bring in Welch.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the guy is just a collection of liver spots.
Not the body shame though, but yeah.
No, I'm saying he's old. Age shame.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, Vance is not. He's the Ohio senator. It won the
He's a
Ohio
young version of
senator.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, exactly. Because like he wrote Hillbilly Elegy, which is like a memoir about like people's plight in Appalachia.
He's as much of a hillbilly as I am.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
But
I'm
because like
currently living in Appalachia, but I'm no hillbilly.
yeah,
My dad grew up
yeah,
here.
exactly.
I ain't no hillbilly.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but the problem is that like yeah, he'll be also was turned into the movie directed by Ron Howard. So like if like JD Vance like actually like wins as like VP as Trump, we can blame Ron Howard for another thing. But like But like what the problem with the hillbilly ideology, I listened to the Moxer Now bits about that. So it's like, yeah, it's talk about like fentanyl use amongst the white working class as well, the actual white working class as well too. But yet it frames it still as like a personal fault of those people for being addicted to drugs and stuff like that, and their personal fault of like, well, not being able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps to make themselves be wealthy and so on like that. And that was a memoir that J.D. Vance wrote that made him a millionaire as well too. And the only reason that he was able to win his Senate seat in Ohio narrowly is because he was backed by like Peter Thiel, a Silicon Valley like billionaire that like I
Another fascist.
yeah, not a fascist, honestly. And Peter Thiel is also the guy that like caused like the website Gawker to be taken down with the lawsuits from Hulk Hogan. And that's why Hulk Hogan probably was at the RNC as well too. But Hulk Hogan being like a thug kid also was like why he was at the RNC.
It just shows you. Well, did you also see that he like the difference between Hulk Hogan and like when Megan Thee Stallion, you know, it's like this is like the epitome of like boomer fun, I guess.
Megan Thee Stallion, remind me who she is.
I don't know.
Black singer, rap artist.
She's
Oh,
a
okay.
rapper or something. I don't know. Don't
She
ask
was
the one
on
black.
an episode or two of a She-Hulk.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's I don't know. So some of the shit that I'm seeing with like these celebrities endorsing journalists, it's a bit cringe for my taste. It's just
hmm
yay, we gotta, and I'm just like, okay, this is weird, but I'll roll with it because anything, anything, anything other than Trump and Vance, but this is cringe as shit.
It's I don't know. It's just like hey, celebrity endorsements of like politicians. Like I bet Mark Hamill will come out and be in favor of like a Harris as well too, because like that's honestly his politics as well too. And Mark Hamill is a bit too like pro Biden for my taste as well too. So it's just like yeah, Mark Hamill's anti-Trump and like yeah, that's good. And that's like the at very level. I still love Mark Hamill as an actor. Don't get me wrong. So it's like but Mark Hamill seemed to be like one of those people that like were just want to go back to brunch and like as I think he even said that he wants to go back to not talk about politics as well too. So it's just like I'm not saying that like all people have to be politically active. I know that for some people like saying politics is good for their mental health as well too, but just like oh yeah. But then again,
Well, like,
I
like,
guess
like, I don't know if I could like if ever I was running for president, like I would probably just like I don't know have like Neil Diamond's "Rocking in the Free World" playing in the background. That's about it.
well, okay, here's the thing. You like playing that as a presidential song. I don't think like Neil Diamond would have a problem with you like playing it unless if Neil Diamond is somehow a racist that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I don't
And
think.
unlike all any like artists that recorded artists that this played during like a Republican like a thing as well too, they'll be like, could you not? You don't know my politics. Please not use my songs. Or
Didn't John didn't like what's John what's her so the dude who the guy who wrote Fortunate Son, I
for
forgot his
That's
name.
Credence.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah, but who's the lead singer though?
I have to look it up.
No idea.
Fogerty, John Fogerty, Ford something.
Fogerty?
I don't know even know how to spell
John Fogerty, yeah, was primary
Yeah,
songwriter.
yeah. Didn't he like tell Trump to stop using Fortunate Son at his rallies?
It,
No, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of Billy Joel and Born in America, not Billy Joel.
no, yeah, Billy Joel, yeah.
Okay.
You
That
mean
makes
Bruce
sense.
Springsteen?
There's it.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen, yeah, the boss, yeah. No. Bruce Springsteen has progressive politics as well too.
Yeah, Reagan
Uh,
played that song a
Pretty sure
lot.
Bruce Springsteen has been kissing a black man on stage at his concerts every time for like the last 50 years.
Yeah, like didn't Bruce Springsteen like tell Reagan to stop using his song and like his rallies because he thought like Reagan thought the song was like patriotic, but it's actually very critical of the U.S.
Yep, that I'm
Hmm.
not surprised that
Of course,
that
so is
happening.
Fortunate Son.
Yes, yes, exactly. Fortunate song, one of the most understood songs ever.
That's why I feel like Fortunate Son will always be like there's like new protest music coming out, but Fortunate Son will always stand the time, like the test of time.
It's still a good song too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um. So
I mean, it's about rich people sending poor people to die in their wars. So yeah.
Yeah,
that's timeless as well too. I mean,
yeah.
War
I
Pigs.
mean, yeah. Look what's going on with us trying to go to war with Iran. It's in this case, it's not just rich assholes. It's religious zealots, rich assholes like
Mhm.
Lindsey Graham. This time,
Yeah, they
Let's
always.
see.
Ever since
If you
Iraq,
take a
we
look at
watched.
this stream, you get to see that Hulk Hogan got to take a picture and pose with someone. Why is the stream taking so long to catch up? It should only be a few seconds behind. All right, there we go.
You have to because you have to like click live again on like the button as well too, because like every time there's a hiccup, it will like still like continue from when it was paused.
Okay.
Uh, so see, so Hulk Hogan is like just like half of
Meeting
it
with someone, he
hugging.
may not have noticed the tattoo, but it's. I mean, that's it's not surprising that that's who his fans are.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you can see it on the stream, but the guy has an SS tattoo.
oh, you mean the picture of the
SS.
guy with the SS lightning bolts? I think I saw that on the Dusty Smith show a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Mhm.
Not surprising Hulk Hogan has those fans. And not surprising some of those fans are fans of WWE as
I
well
mean, he's a
too,
racist,
because
anti-union piece of shit. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
yeah, exactly.
The
Then
only, the only WWE person I like is Jesse Ventura. That's it.
I listened to the six-parter on like Behind the Bastards on like Vince McMahon because like oh boy yes Vince McMahon's a huge bastard as well too, and yeah they also talk about like a lot of history of like a wrestling as well too, a lot of other bastards and lead up to Vince McMahon as well too, but they also mentioned about Jesse Bonaventura who still has some weird ideas as well too, but very much like in other places like no he's actually kind of cool in that when we read because like yeah
Yeah.
Justin Bonaventura starred in Predators as and then like joined the Screen Actors Guild there and was like
Hmm.
oh Screen Actors Guild this is awesome we can
That's gonna be if he ever runs for president, which I highly doubt he will, or
yeah
his like tagline is gonna be "Ain't got time to bleed." I can't fucking wait. That's
it
gonna
got
be
time
so.
played
That's gonna be so fucking hard.
is and again surprisingly with Predator if like Carl Revers who co-starred in Predators as well too if he was successful in his bid to be the governor of Pennsylvania because he did run for the governor of Pennsylvania then like that movie Predator had like 3 future governors.
Yeah. Hey, would Arnold Schwarzenegger, if he could run and actually get elected, because I know he wasn't born here, but
Yeah.
do you think he would have been a good Republican president if Arnold Schwarzenegger had been in office?
I was he that good of the governor of California?
he was centrist. I don't think he
Yeah.
was that bad, and I don't think he was great.
I mean, yeah, he'll be better from the fascist, which is not saying much, but like he'd be part of the Republican Party because he's still part of the Republican Party. Yes, he's been critical of aspects of the Republican Party and he spoke out against Trump. So like again, that makes him better than at least past the low bar of being a decent human being as well too. But like so,
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm even speaking of here's some Florida news for you.
let's
I
say there's
heard
some
that
Florida news. Yes, go ahead.
actually it may be good. It may be good news for a change.
Hmm.
As the song says, the sky may be I can see clearly now the rain is gone. So in the villages,
Hmm.
would the notorious Krakow Central villages there was like a huge rally. I don't know, it wasn't like huge, but it was a huge rally for Kamala in the villages.
Oh,
And
I see.
Florida may actually be in play for Harris.
That
Maybe
might
it's
be.
hopium. Maybe it's hopium.
It probably is opium, but like,
Well, I
yeah, I
mean,
can
Ron
definitely.
DeSandwich has been such a dipshit there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I just hope she wins Florida so we could just make Ron DeSantis just pissed.
yeah. It's like Georgia is still in contention as well too. It did win blue in like 2020 as well too, and like they did like elect 2 Democratic senators at like election. So it's like it's going to be a tough fight for Georgia as well too as any swing
Mhm.
states as well too. It's like it's and with Kamala Harris, I hope that she does campaign in like Michigan and does campaign in like Wisconsin as well too, because that's something that like Hillary Clinton did not do in 2016 at all, which like you can't probably
Well, I
contribute
mean,
to that.
to be fair to the person who should not have been president either,
Mhm.
the polling suggested that she was way ahead of Trump and she didn't have to do work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
but problem was that Trump was such a ridiculous candidate, the polling didn't work.
yeah, I agree.
Did you guys see what he did at the National Association for Black Journalists? Did you guys see that shit he did?
Did he try to hand
Yeah,
out watermelon, fried chicken, and Sprite?
Yeah, well, even worse, he tried to say that he was like, "Oh, I thought Kamala was an Indian. Then she
mhm.
wanted to be black."
Yep. And yeah, so this yeah, so he
That's a
took
discussion that Trump needs to weigh in on.
Georgia B said, I missed watching the Dusty Smith show. I had to like stop because it was like really hurting my mental health and all the horrible news that he was reporting in the world. Yeah, and all the horrible things. I
No,
agree.
don't get me wrong. I mean, I like him, but that the Palestine shit, I there's been like days I just want to just like throw that computer against the wall, seeing that shit.
Oh, no, oh yeah, and we mentioned and we also mentioned how like the Hamas leader got assassinated by like Israel while he was like visiting Iran and Tehran for the inauguration of the new prime minister of Iran. So it's like, yeah, that's like we all know that like there was like it's always Israel that was resistant to like a ceasefire, this
Yeah.
negotiation ceasefire talks as well too.
Cause like the media tried to say he was like a Hamas, which to them is just all terrorists. But I'm hearing like, was he a negotiator or was he like a
Yes.
terrorist?
Well, he was one of the negotiators, one of the people at the table for
Okay.
like this negotiation, the ceasefire as well too, and releasing the hostages. Yeah. So
Why
it's
would
like
you kill a negotiator?
because Israel does not want to negotiate. They, yeah,
They
it's
want to
absolutely
genocide.
they want the
Yeah.
genocide. Their stated goal is to end Hamas, but like the only way for them to like actually end Hamas is just like is destroy all of Palestine.
I
Or like,
think. I mean, I think Hamas. I think there's probably more Hamas than there ever was.
they're definitely this whole genocide is creating more recruitments for Hamas because of what is like a young Palestinian is going to do that it wants to end the occupation of Palestine and like the apartheid state of Palestine, then join the one resistance movements that's actually making some effort into resisting Israel, and so they'll join Hamas. And so I'm not excusing Hamas for like the terrible like war crimes as a what do you
Hamas
say?
is terrible.
Yeah, no, like the Hamas has done, legitimately has done some terrorism. I'm not disputing that, and like I'm not disputing that they have done some horrible things and atrocities and war crimes and like that. But also,
Well, yeah, although I feel like because like I've also been like, but like I've been researching like what's some of the stuff the IRA did, and it's like,
mm,
I mean, the IRA like did a lot of bombings that were fucking crazy. And
Hmm.
like the Royal Military, like the British didn't say we got to kill all the IRA. They didn't do that. So why? I don't know.
I guess the British were not so racist that they wanted to kill all the Irish people. They just want to like fight against the IRA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've seen pictures of some of the IRA bombings. They look like, I mean, a lot of people didn't die because I think the IRA actually warned when they were going to set off a bomb so people could get out the way. But it was brutal, some of those bombings they had.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was so terroristic because terrorism is like a use of violence for a political goal, and that's the definition of it. And like, but like there can violence it can be against like buildings or against equipments as well too. So it can be just like sabotage, and that's also violence that the ANC, the African National Convention, was did in South Africa to fight against apartheid.
Congress, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it
it's
was
Congress. You're right.
Congress.
You're right.
Yeah.
African National Congress. Yeah, you're right. Don't worry, Metro. We're not looking at you as well too, because like, yeah, so you're British, you're English as
Obviously,
well
you're not
too.
going to be part of the IRA. You're going to be a target. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Um, but like, and it's like, so what some liberals don't understand is that like at some point that the violence has to like be used in order to achieve like radical political goals and something like that. Because like I think the ANC for like decades have tried to do all of the right things and all the like legal things that they could do to fight against the apartheid, but it just was not working. So they resorted to like violence of sabotage at least.
Well, there's a comment where there's a JFK there's a JFK quote that says, "Those who make peaceful something make
For peaceful,
violent."
those who make peaceful reform impossible make violent revolution inevitable.
Yeah. So
So
I gotta head back to work, guys. But I
okay.
just want to just peep in and say, hey, how's it going?
Yep. Yeah, thank you for popping in and saying
Yeah.
hi. Hey, you
Indeed, it's
definitely
good to chat with
contributed.
you.
Yeah, it's good chatting with you.
Like I'm gonna be working like the next 2 Sundays, but so we can
Okay.
talk. I'll just still pop it because we're trying to get all these rooms ready for the kids coming in for the fall. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You're working at a university. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Just make
Next
sure you don't
Sunday.
accidentally groom any of them.
no,
Yeah.
you guys are about to end anyway. So
Yeah,
In 10
only a few
minutes,
minutes left.
yeah, there's still like one topic to bring up. Because this was mentioned on like C-Shots like Askaway too. The left version of Project 2025, and Isaiah, if you have to go, then you can go ahead and just like leave. Just gonna mention that next Sunday will be the Patreon show anyway as well too. So yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Uh,
so what I so quickly about the left version 2025, I want I mean all the shit that we're talking about now, like we want to end to the Palestinian war. We want gay marriage to be recognized and legalized in all 50 states. We want protections for abortion rights. We want protection for women's rights. We want protection for disabled rights. We want to redistribute wealth from a lot of rich assholes.
well,
We want to pour a shit ton of money into the public health and the public education system. Drastic cuts to the military.
mm.
So yeah, that's what I want.
So yeah, so it's like one thing is like the left is not a monolith because like if we're at and I'm talking about actual real leftists about those guys, anyone is anti-capitalist. You cannot be a leftist unless you're anti-capitalist. In my mind, that's what it means to be a leftist. There is like is birth certificate 2.0. Oh, that's I mean, no, the context. I agree with you there. That'll be a good one. So the left is like anarchists, socialists, and communists, and someone who's like not identified as those other three, but is anti-capitalist. Like they have that as a support group as well too.
Well, anti-capitalist is necessary but not sufficient.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I was on the internet yesterday and there was this conservative commentator that says Kamala is a communist.
Yeah, the right will always do that. They say that Biden is a communist. They say that California is communist as well too. But it's just like that's because like I think Chris Yossi mentioned that like the right did a good thing by like painting Barack Obama as a communist because that got kind of led. She jokingly said this. That led some people to actually look up communism, look up socialists, and think that's not what Barack Obama is like, and like that's what the right to say that he is like too. But it sounds awesome. So it's like,
Although, the difference between I look at it like this. In California, I could fuck a white woman and have kids. In Mississippi, I could fuck one and get lynched. That's the difference.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, definitely. It definitely in certain parts of like Mississippi as well too. Now, and in California, they not that long ago, years ago, had did pass it where it's like you can wear your natural hair in schools. California did actually have to pass a law that's called the Crown Act for like no restrictions or prohibitions on like people's natural hair because there was conservative California schools that were like punishing kids or like telling them to cut their hair because of their natural hair. Yeah, big afros and that sort of thing too. It was like they were punishing black people or brown people for their natural hair. So California did have to pass a law saying that no, you cannot do that.
Well, I don't know, guys.
All right, later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Bye.
yeah, as So I'm not against the like an idea of like a left version of Project 25, but like that one thing that people have to like understand about the left whenever they talk about like the left version of the Tea Party or like that, it's like well, like the left includes communists, socialists, and like anarchists, and the anarchists have a very different idea for what their version of a better world to be than Marxist-Leninists for sure. Maybe some Marxist-Leninists will disagree with that as well too, and there's also like how many leftists are there? Different kinds of leftists are there? Like 200 by some people's count, and I say that's a conservative count too, as well too. There's probably 200 different versions of anarchists, honestly. Um, but that's worse. Like how I was on a discussion of like unity on the left, and I just not in favor of unity on the left. We can work together on like certain projects and like certain protest movements as well too, but like do not expect like anarchists to get a fully along with like other Marxist Leninists as well too. Um, that picture of that picture reminds me of the shampoo episodes of like Lanya Cat. I have not seen that. And welcome on Indeed Church. How are you
Hey,
doing?
Dietrich.
But like so I don't know if the Democrats would want to use their powers of in order to like institute their own version of like whatever it is that they want those positions of power, but they want to still follow the rules and just like maintain the status quo and stuff like that. So I think the stream hiccuped a little bit, but like it's back. It's just so everyone refresh or just like click the live thing as well too. Yeah, it just a tiny bit of skip. Did not like too much. It didn't lose much, and it was still streaming. Figure out how many types of leftist like counts the number of like a leftist and multiply like 1.5. I agree, Joe. Very honestly. um, is so I mean, I can see Marxist Leninists coming up with their own like project version of Project 2025 or Project
They could easily do
2029.
that.
Yeah, because they will be the kind of people that will want to like a plan set out or a cookbook of like how to like do the socialist revolution, and they also believe in like I generally they believe that like and we should use the state and like take over the state in order to bring about socialism as well too. Well, it's like People's Project 2025. I mean, but again, like Edric, like what I say, I do agree. We can like find some like broad strokes of like what we want, like bodily autonomy for like all people for reproductive rights or all people with wombs and something like that easily. The gamers recognize in old 50 states. I think that's already a thing.
Well,
Now,
because of a Bergefell, it has to be.
yes, exactly.
Bergefell said that, using the same logic as Loving versus Virginia, if a man can marry a woman, then a woman can marry a woman. So blah, blah, blah.
Yes,
And then the full faith and credit clause of the Constitution means that, therefore, everyone everywhere has to recognize all marriages.
yes, exactly. And how many ways may I let me count the ways? Apologies to Shakespeare. You did it better than like most other people as well too, Mithril, because like trust me, as thespian, ad-libbing in Shakespeare, you have to be really well versed in Shakespeare in order to do that. Yes, because I'll be useless if I don't remember my lines as well too. It'll be the same as like regular approach to 2020, except for replace the word degenerate with bourgeoisie. Yep, that's a good take, honestly. Um, it's yeah, so like yeah, we can set up some broad strokes of demands, but I don't know if you're going to get like enough. You get some leftists who like probably write a 500-page plan, something like that. How well that can be implemented from when the actual leftist like gets in there, I don't know. Gay marriage is Western bourgeoisie. Nah, it's like there's something to be said about marriage. And I think marriage should be just like well, I just like do I really want to get into like the whole thing is well about that sort of thing too. Words like marriage is like this is like me iterating as an ML. Oh, okay, yeah, Marxist Leninist, yeah. But anyway, no,
Except that Lenin decriminalized homosexuality. Stalin recriminalized it. So they're not an
yeah.
ML. They're an MLS.
I have met people who did. I think I have met people who. I did met a person who self-identified as tanky. No, he proudly says I'm a tanky, or just so you know, I'm tanky. He would say that, and like so, I've met people that are Stalinist, but I'm not sure if anyone met anyone that calls themselves a Marxist-Leninist Stalinist. Which, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I just like shorten that to honest. it wasn't made by like Marx or Lenin. It was like made by someone. No, I agree with you there. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. Lenin still has done some terrible things, and I still have my disagreements with Lenin on a few things. But no, Lenin is definitely. I will say this: Lenin is definitely more based than Stalin, but that's because Stalin was a piece of shit.
Hmm. Fascism entirely the purview of the petty bourgeoisie. I mean, the petty bourge definitely like their fascism because
Yeah.
they like thinking they're better than their workers.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lenin was more based than Stalin, and Marx was more based than Lenin, definitely.
Oh yeah,
Although
I
Marx
agree with you.
was still a European with a colonialist mindset.
Yeah, there's still that issues with like Marx as well too. But at least Marx definitely said he's like I'm not a Marxist, and I'm sure Lenin would not say he's a Leninist
Mhm.
as well too. Yeah.
But Lenin
Um,
came up with the vanguardist thing, which has some elements of elitism.
I agree. Yeah. And I have my issues with vanguardism as well too. So yeah. Uh but like so yeah, leverage approach try the dictatorship of proletariat as well, or whatever is like the new version of that is by like Marxist Leninists now, I would say. I say that like the petty bourgeoisie it may be engineers of the fashion, but the working class are often its executors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, petty bouge just means restaurant owners.
Yeah.
Small business owners, the people who are forced to work alongside their employees.
Mhm.
Um, they may have been thinking of the middle class, the white collar workers,
Yeah,
the
the
professional
professional manager.
managerial class.
Yeah, Bob's Burgers anarchism debate. Let's go. Okay, maybe next time we can have that next time. I still need to watch Bob Burgers. I'm told it's a great show and actually, well, like has like pro labor
Mm.
like views and things as well too. I'm pretty sure Lenin would have been like better if he had known what Stalin would be, but he had to like set the table for Stalin. I
Yeah,
agree
it's
with you
sort of
there.
like Mao and uh, Deng Xiaoping.
What's it?
I mean,
Yeah.
Mao did realize what Deng Xiaoping was, but he tried to stop him, but the Cultural Revolution was a shit show.
Yeah. Goes back to Sam Cedar is great in that show. Like a real shame he's not in it anymore. Oh, Sam Cedar. The majority of reports Sam Cedar was like Sam Cedar and and
Uh,
J Benjamin Batista Bob's are like real life fans. So I see. Okay, that's cool. I do
I don't
like
really
Sam
know too
Cedar.
much about Cedar. As far as I can remember, he's basically just a progressive liberal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like him as a progressive liberal. There's still some his limitations in his part. And like, I wish he would be more radical in like a lot of ways. Which is true of Steve Shives. Steve Shives is my friend, and he's a progressive liberal. And I wish that Steve Shives was just more radical. But blah.
I wish his
Um,
anger would drive him to the left.
yeah, same here. Honestly, Vanguard is also the name of the queer civil rights like groups in the 60s and 70s. If I remember right, that probably is, and I can see a queer liberation like rights, a civil rights group in the movement in the 60s, 70s having that name too, as well too, because like, definitely a lot of like civil rights movements, people in that era, something like that, drew some inspiration from like communists or like the Black Panther Party. They were
Mm.
communists as well too.
Oh, yeah, they were avowedly openly socialist.
Yeah.
Does he dog whistle, or is he just picking up those things and moving further to the left just because? Like, I listen to the Puzzle and the Thunderstorm shows, Thomas Smith, folks like that. They are more openly anti-capitalist by the week, and they're openly calling the Republicans fascists. I don't know if I'd call them leftists yet.
I see. Yeah. I think Sam Cedar has like some members of like his show that are more radically left than him. Like he did have Michael Brooks on his show, and Michael Brooks
uh,
was a
oh, McCod Brooks?
uh,
No, that's an actor.
no, Michael Brooks was, I think he was a Marxist. He died. He like died at 37 as well too. But like Michael Brooks is definitely like a leftist as well too. Now he probably a bit of a brocialist if I remember correctly. That some people has this criticism of Michael Brooks for that. Yeah, RP. But like for the most part, I don't have much criticism of like Michael Brooks, and I had to like find some like quotes of him to like see that
He was on the Young Turks apparently sometimes, so yeah, I can see brocialist there.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Young Turks I have my issues with as well too. But like, I think like one of the other guests,
Kirok, when we say liberals here, you got to remember we're talking about people who are pro-capitalism.
yes,
We that's why I keep making a point to say progressive liberals.
Yes.
Because progressive means that they are striving toward goals that will ultimately require the end of capitalism. If you want
Yes.
equality, if you want to end racism, sexism, homophobia, etc., then you have to be anti-capitalist. But when we say liberals, we mean pro-capitalist because that's where the term originally came from. In the U.S., liberal means murder lover.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone
Since
left the
Reagan.
South on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we mean liberals broadly, as in like a non-radical person as well too, or a person with political beliefs are non-radical. They want to keep the status quo as it is. As well
Liberal
too.
covers everyone from Bernie Sanders to probably Mitt Romney.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Liz
Yeah, honestly.
Cheney.
Hmm.
Yeah. Basically, all the Republicans who were openly disdainful of Trump and that type.
Including Arnold Schwarzenegger, if he is still anti-Trump, but still a
Yeah.
Republican.
Oh, he's
So,
definitely a liberal. Yeah, in that sense.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know that I'd call him progressive though.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah. Uh,
But
That's okay, Kirok, honestly. But like, remember,
I would have preferred Sanders to Clinton.
yeah, I would prefer Sanders to Clinton as well too.
Definitely to Trump.
But just remember, Kirok, we're very anti-capitalist on this like show as well too.
All right,
anyway,
but we are over time.
Yeah, so I was just gonna promote Isaiah Taylor. So I forgot to mention this when he was on, but his Instagram, I'll at least just promote this one, Galactic Cosplay Crafts, because he finished his like scale model of the Titanic and all lit up too. So you can see the pictures of that on like Galactic Cosplay Crafts as well too. I'm Summer Geek on like Blue Sky, Threads, co-host, Tumblr, and Twitter. Yes, I'm on Twitter, but also on Twitch and YouTube. And well, after I get off this call and need something, I'm gonna go stream on like Twitch and YouTube. Probably Stardew Valley. I think I'm gonna go with Stardew Valley. Yes, thank you, Kira, for reminding me of that. In the description down below is a charity links page, as well as like other like specific links to like friends of ours, including Phoenix, who was in the live chat. And I hope you're doing as well as you can, Phoenix. If you have extra money, my payday was like this past Friday. So if you have extra money, consider giving extra money to like any of those in our things. So, no, I do have a Mastodon, but like
I'm on Mastodon. I just never remember to check it. I know I have it open in one of these windows.
I probably should just check out my Mastodon and like use that more often, because some people that I hang out with are on Mastodon as well too. Mastodon, one of my friends was like using a lot more on
there
Mastodon, but some people that do have a problem with Mastodon. If you don't think it's helpful to hate any levels, because like we at least exist in the same like shared reality. Yeah, but Kirok, remember this: I hate liberalism. Not necessarily. I don't necessarily hate liberals. There's some liberals I have my disagreements with, but mostly it's those that block me. But yet I don't even hate those liberals as well too. Most liberals are like fine people. They don't. I just wish that they weren't liberals. As was my thing as well too. Again, I hate the game, not the player. But like, I already did my plugs. But also, John Brunkman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Dungeons and Debacles. We are cops, which is disappointing. But that's what happens sometimes. It's very different from this. Well, not honestly that different, because I'm on there. But yeah, a lot of fun. And with that, we get to say goodbye.
Bye-bye. See you all next time, next week.
Yeah, most people are liberals, capitalists, because the same reason they're Christians or Muslims or Jews.
Oh, yeah. Which is why I hate tankies more, because you choose to be tanky. Well, it's like most people grew up to be liberals. All right,
Preach.
bye all.
Go ahead and share your Mastodon things. All right, and ending the stream.